Well, Candy Dandy is a cryptocurrency trading platform owner who's with us here just now. How are you?
Very good. How are you?
Yep, I'm doing great. So, first of all, can you just explain a little bit about everything you're working on?
All right. So, what we're creating right now is a metaverse project, mainly launching our NFT line first, which will be Candy Critters, followed by our cryptocurrency coin, and then land plots, and then our full metaverse launch, which will be a virtual reality world. So right now we're in phase one. We're minting on January 14th for our Candy Critter NFTs.
Yes. Now, a lot of that sounds quite fancy, but I've got no idea what it means. So, what actually is an NFT and a metaverse?
Okay. So metaverse is actually a concept that came from Neil Stephenson in a novel back in 1992, a sci-fi novel, where the metaverse is a virtual reality world, and it's a metaphor for the real world. So what's been gaining a lot of popularity is we actually have the technology to create something like this. A lot of people have heard of the movie Ready Player One, where everybody spends the majority of their time in this virtual world. And we're starting to see all sorts of projects kind of pop up here with that concept in mind. And of course, Facebook switching their name to Meta. To really create a metaverse of their own. So what we're doing is creating our own metaverse world where people can socially interact with each other, play games with each other, trade with each other, a whole economy, go to concerts in a virtual world, go to a casino in a virtual world. You can hang out with friends from all over the world with just a VR headset on.
Yeah. Why do you think these metaverses and virtual worlds are so popular? Why don't people just go to the theater or the casino in real life?
Well, that is one of the things that's kind of driving this. You have coronavirus that has really kind of put people in their homes where they can't even go out. Now, I'm not saying coronavirus will be around forever, but a lot of people have switched to hanging out with friends and doing activities on the internet right now.
Yeah. And is it just as fun to do all these real life things virtually?
Absolutely. I mean, you don't have all of your senses, you don't have your sense of smell, your sense of taste, but the concept of hanging out socially in a virtual environment, has been around quite a while. Even I look at my children with Roblox and Minecraft. They're constantly with their friends in these virtual worlds.
Yeah, that's true. Because a lot of people would say that gaming and spending your time in a virtual world is antisocial, but actually it's the opposite.
Right, and that's mainly people that say that are not involved in it at all.
Yeah, that's true. So what are the 4 phases of Candyverse and the timeline, etc.?
Okay, so phase 1 is our NFT launch with the Candy Critters. We mint on January 14th, meaning that's the day that you can purchase one.
Yeah.
After phase 1, we're moved to phase 2, which will follow almost directly after. We're looking at 7 to 10 days after our Candy Critters NFT mint for our Candyverse coin. Now, this is a cryptocurrency that you can hold in any cryptocurrency wallet. And the idea behind it is if you're holding your Candy Critter NFT in the same wallet, you'll earn passive rewards just for holding it. So anytime a Candy Critter NFT is sold to somebody else, there's a percentage of the commission off of that will be redistributed to everybody else that's still holding theirs. The Candyverse coin will come into play a lot more as an in-game token when the full Candyverse is launched. And every plot of land you own, Candyverse critter you own, and every accessory you build on your land will earn you passive income. Then we move into phase 3, which will be our first land plot sales. We're dividing up the Candyverse into 10 different districts, which is 10 different themed lands. Each district will consist of 10,000 land plots. And then phase 4 will be the full launch, VR launch of the entire Candyverse, where you can slip your headset on and do everything that we have to offer.
Yeah. So how are these different districts actually going to work then?
So the different districts, at first we're going to launch just District 1. And as our community grows, we'll then launch District 2. The idea is to launch a new district every quarter, every 3 months after the one before it. This will grow the entire environment with the community and audience coming in. It also guarantees that those that were in this project early see the most foot traffic through their lands of District 1. Now, we are going to have an XP system involved where new users coming in will have to do certain activities and be a part of the community to unlock the further districts. So District 1 will have the highest foot traffic, always, no matter how many other districts are unlocked, then District 2, District 3, and so on. With the last district due to be released, 2023, that will have the least amount of foot traffic, therefore the least valuable, but still in a way valuable because you earn passive income off of it.
Yeah. And once all these phases are completed, what will we be able to do in the Candyverse?
Right. So we have casinos planned where you will be able to wager your Candyverse coin on all sorts of different games. We'll have social games where you can wager Candyverse coin against each other to complete tasks first or play all sorts of different games. We have about 28 games planned at the moment, which will spread out across districts. We're going to hold live concerts and events, of course. And each district will have its own kind of featured activity. You name it, we want to keep it as open as possible where users can create their own games and activities as well to draw an audience to their land.
Yeah, that sounds pretty exciting and maybe more exciting than real life, actually.
Right.
And have you found that people have been more interested in this since the pandemic, or did you not really start working on it before then anyway?
We've been working on this for about 8 months now. So yeah, I would say after the pandemic, we realized the opportunity and the demand for an actual social digital community. A lot of other metaverse projects right now are all about just the game, and they're not community first. So we really driving for that community first feeling where if you are on your land plot and you have a neighbor, you talk to each other.
Yeah.
Meeting strangers from all over the world. And we will soon turn this into real world events that will tie into it.
Yeah, and that's even more community than real life, because these days most people, when you move into a new house, don't actually bother to introduce themselves to their neighbour. No. So it's great that it's happening in this game.
Right.
Yeah. So you mentioned about the idea of passive income that you can earn from the Candyverse. How does that work exactly?
Well, I kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, but every time a sale of an NFT takes place, say I take my Candyverse critter and for some reason I feel like selling it and I put it on the OpenSea NFT marketplace and you buy it from me.
Yeah.
So we'll just use a round number of $100 right now. I sell it to you for $100. However, there's a 10% tax, which is $10 that takes place during that transfer. That $10 will be redistributed to the community via Candyverse Coin automatically every time one of those sales occurs. the land plots, land accessories, everything involved in the entire Candyverse will have that tax that will be redistributed.
Yeah. So do you not actually have to really do much work then in order to get the passive income?
You absolutely do not have to. You can do as little work as you want or as much work as you want. But we will have incentives put in place where the more time you're in the Candyverse and the more activities you create or take part in, there's going to be multiple ways to earn passive income, whether you're extremely involved or not involved at all.
Imagine being able to make money from something that you can barely call a job. I don't know anyone that applies to. So what kind of decisions can be made by the community? Are they powerful, or are there higher powers maybe that decide everything that goes down?
Well, as far as some of the core development won't be controlled by the community, but we do want the community to have a say in as many things as possible, like what we're going to name our districts and our lands. We'll take feedback from the community. We'll put it to a vote. Street names, and game names, you name it. We want the community to have a say in everything we name, as well as themes. We still have District 7, 8, 9, 10 that have loose themes on them, but we would love to have the community vote on what they actually want to see after we're moving along the way, and everybody can sees the whole picture and has the Candyverse in front of them with their headsets on.
Yeah. Although the thing is with getting people to decide what they want to call districts, there'll be somebody called Steve, let's say, who will suggest the name Steve Berg or something. So they'll just try and get it named after themselves, won't they?
True, but right now we're only about 10 days old, and we have a community of about 7,000. So wow. If you can imagine those 7,000 people all voting for Steve Berg is probably highly unlikely.
Okay. And 7,000, that's a big number to call a community, isn't it? Does it matter the number when it comes to online things, or is it still a community no matter how big it gets?
It'll still be a community, no matter how big it gets. However, we're limiting our Candy Critter NFT line to 10,000. There will only ever be 10,000 of them. Those 10,000 people that have a Candy Critter in their wallet will have VIP whitelist access to any further land plot drops, land accessories, things like that. Now, that community will be the VIP community. That's going to be the most tightly knit community that's been there since the beginning. You're going to have your core community. You're going to have your general public that just comes along and plays around. So we're trying to focus that on community and anticipating, growth, where if there is 200,000 people walking around in the Candyverse, we still do want that sense of community and neighborly feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. And is there any kind of maybe democracy overall, as in electing a leader for the community?
Right now we are actually, due to somebody in our community actually did put forward the idea of assigning mayors to districts. And we are discussing that in depth right now on how that would work. So yes, a democracy is not, out of the question. We just have to make sure it makes sense mathematically and that it makes sense fairness-wise for the rest of the community. We don't want any tyrannical leaders in the Candyverse.
Yeah, although I guess, if you've got 7,000 people, then most of them are going to vote for somebody who is a good choice.
Right.
Yeah. So you're doing the giveaways as well for the Phase 1 minting event. So can you just go over that for us?
Right. Okay. So for our phase one giveaways, how we're working this is there will be 10,000 Candyverse Critter NFTs. Each one of those, after mint, will be assigned a number that will be publicly available in the marketplaces. So say you have Candyverse Critter number 2,897. We are going to hold a third-party hosted random number generated drawing for our giveaway. So it's 100% transparent, and everybody will be able to watch it live stream via our Discord and other social media.
Yay.
If that random number generator draws 2,897, you'll win the prize we're drawing for at the time. Now, the prizes are 50 winners of $500, 20 winners of a new iPad, 10 winners of $10,000 in Bitcoin, and we are doing 5 winners of 2021 Tesla Model 3s.
Wow, that sounds expensive.
It does, but we're all about redistributing the commissions to the community, doing that passive income, and we really want, it's also, we want everybody on social media to see our Candyverse community driving around in their Teslas.
Yeah, and of course, if that's not an incentive to sign up, then I don't know what is, because I'd love to win any one of them.
Right. So, yeah, it's a total of 87 prizes.
Wow, that's incredible. Now, why have you decided to call it the Candyverse? What's your obsession with candy?
It's not so much an obsession with candy. It's always it always relates to positivity, right?
Yeah.
There's no negative feelings about candy, and everybody grew up with loving candy. As an adult, still love candy. It's a great theme that we can expand on and explore. There's so much to do with the candy theme as far as creating these different districts with different themes. So, yeah, as far as candy goes, we don't have an obsession with candy.
Yeah.
We do love candy, but we love the positivity that it brings.
Yes, absolutely. So how's the marketing coming along for the Candyverse so far?
Marketing so far is we have our influencers through TikTok, and we're doing some Instagram, Twitter. We're basically just kind of drip feeding marketing right now through December. As January rolls around, we turn the fire hose on. We have tons of influencers lined up. We're just waiting till closer to our sale date. We don't want to bring a lot of outside potential community members in too early. We're really trying to establish our base community members that really kind of bring this project to life. And that's where you see the 7,000 Discord members right now. And the general public will come in, the week 7 to 10 days leading up to the actual sale date.
Yeah. And are you hoping that the marketing actually ends up working?
Well, another reason for our slow drip the first couple of weeks of launching this is to narrow down exactly what influencers are working best for us, what social media channels are working best for us, and that way we can pour, the other 80% of our marketing budget into what works the best for us. So a lot of just kind of test marketing has occurred so far, and the real marketing is still yet to come.
Yeah, that's a good idea, actually, because lots of people seem to have this idea of launching it all at once, but then they don't know what has actually got them the results, if any.
Right, absolutely. So, we're pretty stoked so far at the results, and we have a lot of faith that just getting the project out in front of people will pique their interest. And once they come join our Discord and talk to our amazing community, they'll want to join up with us for sure.
Definitely. Well, where are we able to check out the Candyverse and the Candy Critters and everything if we are interested in this fun experience?
Our website is candyverse.io. You can find all of our social media links right there on the website, as well as all the minting dates, what the Candy Critters look like, all our giveaway information, our future roadmap, our development roadmap. And it's imperative to join our Discord community for our daily announcements, daily giveaways, and every other piece of info that you're interested in finding.
Great. Well, thank you very much for joining us here on the show today. It's been great to have you on.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.